Okay, we're ready to start. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to our social media strategy for startups webinar, organized by Takween Accelerator in partnership with the American Corner in Sulaimania. The webinar is going to be live streamed on our Facebook page, and it will be recorded as well and uploaded to our YouTube channel, so you can get back to it and watch it again if you like. Please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box, and I will be more than happy to answer them by the end of the session. I would like to briefly introduce Takween Accelerator. Takween is a project of Yanhad, an initiative to promote civic engagement and entrepreneurship for youth in Iraq. It's financed by the European Union and the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs and implemented by Expertise France and hosted at the American University of Iraq, Sulaimani. You can earn a certification after completing this masterclass. So we will be sending you a small quiz in the next 24 hours after this webinar to those who attended the Zoom session. You must get a minimum of 75 over 100 to receive a certificate. You will be allowed one attempt to complete the quiz. Now, the quiz questions are easy, and all we need from you is to stay focused during this webinar. You don't have to take a lot of notes because as I have mentioned earlier, this session is recorded and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. During our webinar today, we will cover what is social media strategy, how to develop a winning one in 6 steps. We're going to talk about some tips and best practices and some helpful tools that you should consider to ensure the success of your social media strategy. Now, in the tips and best practices section, we will share with you 9 things you can do in order to reach more people organically. That is without paying anything. So watch this webinar till the end. And we as well will be sharing 2 polls with some questions that we would like you to answer. Now, what is a social media strategy? A social media strategy is a plan that outlines your goals for using social media and the target outcomes you want to achieve and how are you going to achieve them. Social media strategy is not just about posting and liking photos. There needs to be a plan behind what you are posting and a goal that you want to achieve from it. This is, by the way, the same concept as opening a new business. Think about when you decided to create your own business. You didn't just open a shop the next day. You did a lot of planning and strategizing that went behind all of it. And it's the same with every new step you take towards building your business. So a successful social media strategy requires an understanding of your audience, what they are looking for, how their needs align with your goals, and how can you attract them. It is not about what you want, it's about what they are looking for. So keep this in mind. Now, this is the big question: how to develop a social media strategy. Actually, it's easier than you probably think, and you can do it in just 6 simple steps. The first step is to conduct a social media audit. Conducting an audit of your social media accounts helps you understand what's happening on each network, what is working and what is not working. And it helps you identify new opportunities to grow and engage your audience. You will also want to pay attention to what your competitors are doing and how successful they are on social media. Do you need to assess the landscape and listen to conversations your customers, suppliers, competitors, employees, and other stakeholders are having? When you start, try to be as objective as you can. Pay attention to all social media pages that you have presence on and look at your competitors' social media pages as well. How do you do an audit? And what data and insights you should look for? So, do an audit. You should go to your social media channels or accounts, and you should make sure that your accounts are complete. That is your profile and cover images, your biography, your services, your description, your address and links, and other things that you need to put, other information. Number two, make sure your images reflect your current branding, as this is very important for your brand's reputation. There's one thing that I would like to draw your attention to is the importance of creating a style guide. A style guide is a document that provides guidelines for the way your brand should be presented from both a graphic and a language perspective. Now, in the upcoming slide, I will show you an example of a style guide. Number three, you need to understand the audience for each network. It is very important to analyze the demographics of your followers, as you need to know whether your target audience is found on this channel or not. Number four, identify the topics and keywords that are driving more engagement. Number five, identify your best posts types. You should record which posts had most engagement. Is it the video posts, images posts, questions, etc.? It is very important to know what days and times are your audience online. This is step number 6. Last point is to know your competition. You should investigate your company's competition and what are they doing on social media. So take a look at the social media channels to see what works for them, what doesn't, and what they are missing. Now, for you to get all these data, you need to go to the Insights or Analytics tab on your social media channels, and to get the information about your competition, you need to go and visit their social media channels. Okay. So as I have mentioned, it's very important to create a style guide for your business. And this is one example of how a style guide might look like. If you notice, it includes the logo, primary colors, secondary colors, complementary colors, the font type, and other information that has to do with your branding. Creating style guides help you be consistent and look professional. In order to create a style guide, you can ask your designer to do it for you, or you can create it by yourself. Okay. So after conducting a social media audit, your next step is to define your SMART goals. This is step number 2. With any strategy that you want to create, you need to understand what you want out of your efforts. Creating goals is so critical to your social media strategy. At the same time, your goals should be SMART. When we say smart, we mean specific. That is, you need to be clear on what you want to accomplish. They should be measurable. That is quantifiable. They should be achievable or attainable. Goals should not be too easy or too hard to achieve. They as well should be realistic or relevant. That is, they should align with your business goals. And finally, timely or time bound. You should set a frame and a clear deadline for achieving your goals. So a goal that starts out like this: we are going to increase conversions. This transformed into this: we are going to increase Facebook conversions by 4% by the end of the quarter. Now my goal is a smart one. So if you can see here, or if you notice that this example sounds more useful because it includes a time frame, a concrete goal for both the metric to be grown and how it will be measured. And it is as well realistic and relevant. So here are some goals that your startup may go after, and these are, of course, we're talking about social media goals. So increasing brand awareness is one of the most important goals. Social media is great for building brand exposure. This is especially useful if you are a new startup kicking things off on social media. So if you are a new startup, you need to focus on increasing brand awareness and make people aware that you exist. Second, boost engagement. If you want people to see your social media posts, you have to produce engaging content. You need to get people to like, share, and comment. Generate new leads. If you are looking for new leads, social media can be a great place to get new email subscribers, for example, event reservations, and customer details. Drive website traffic. You can share posts or create ads on social media that lead more visitors to your website. And by the way, the more you drive visitors to your website, the higher you rank on Google search engine. Finally, increase sales. This is a useful goal if your startup is a B2C, a business to consumer, e-commerce company. Now, these are the major or most important goals that you should go after. But of course, there are as well other goals that you might set in your strategy. And remember that you should convert these into SMART goals. Okay. Step number 3 is to decide on your target audience. Knowing your audience is and what they want to see on social media is key. That way you can create content that they will like, comment on, and share. So it's very important to get to know your fans, your followers, your customers' wants and needs. By doing this, you will know how to target and engage them on social media. Social media analytics can also provide a ton of valuable information about who your followers are, where they live, and how they interact with your brand on social media. Now, these insights allow you to refine your strategy and better target your audience. Actually, I'm not gonna go deep into this, as we had explained it in depth previously during our previous Digital Marketing for Startups masterclass. So for those who would like to dig deeper into this section and know more about personas and segmentation, you can watch it on our Facebook or YouTube channels. Okay. Step number 4. After After you have decided what your social media goals are and who is your target audience, it's now time to choose which social media channels are best for you. Okay, so step number 4 is to choose the right channels that you want to be on. So it's now time to get things cooking and set up your social media profiles. And it is more likely that you already have some form of social media presence. One important thing that I would like to mention here is that the top 5 social media channels that every entrepreneur should invest in are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Now, here we are talking about the big ones, best social media platforms for businesses. But that doesn't mean you should not go for TikTok, Snapchat, or Pinterest. Your target demographic will determine which social media platform works best for you. Keep this in mind as you consider these recommendations. So it's where your target audience is. Let's briefly talk about each channel. So Facebook is right for just about any business. It's also a great place to build brand awareness and interact with your clients once you have caught their attention. It is as well good for B2C businesses. Instagram. Instagram is great if your audience is younger and typically shopping from their mobiles. Twitter is a powerful channel for building brand awareness like Facebook, and it's as well good for connecting directly with other customers and influencers. LinkedIn. It has become a networking tool exclusively for professionals and has revolutionized the way we seek, find, and get hired for jobs. It is a great platform for B2B businesses and where you are more likely to find business partners than new customers. Finally, YouTube for sharing information through video. You can create video tutorials, visually show product descriptions, or give personal press release to your viewers. Now, should startups be on all social media platforms? The answer is no. Your business should not be on every social media platform and not on these 5, all of them as well. Be where your target audience is, as I have mentioned earlier, and focus on the platforms that give you the most return so that you are not wasting your resources. Okay, so here is a list of must-to-know social media demographics for the year 2021 and beyond. These numbers are based on latest research. So as you can see here, for example, the latest or the largest, age group for Facebook is people between 25 and 34 years old, and 44% are female, 56% are male. For LinkedIn, for example, the largest age group is between 46 and 55 years old. 51% are male and 49% are female. Now, there are other age groups, of course, for every channel, but here we have mentioned the biggest ones. Keep in mind that this data is generalized across millions of users worldwide. So if you are looking to expand your reach, we recommend looking into the demographic data from your own social media presence to see how it compares to the averages above. Okay, so step number 5 Create and publish your content. Once you have chosen the main social media platforms that you are going to focus your efforts on, you need to plan out your content and the formats that you are going to create. Social media is the engine of your marketing efforts, and the fuel that powers this engine is content. So keep in mind, content is king, and it is the backbone of your social media strategy. And one of the ways that your social media strategy can succeed is by creating quality content for each of your platforms. Now, you are more likely asking yourself one question: what content should I be creating? As you can see on the screen, we have provided you with some content ideas. You can create content like some live streams. These can be a fantastic way to drive real engagement from your audience. They are low budget streams. You don't need a big budget to go live. And they are replacing expensive and professionally produced videos. And this is the beauty of it. So when we say live streams, we are saying like video live streaming. Videos, just because live streaming has continued to gain traction, but that doesn't mean more traditional videos are dead. Consider videos, pre-recorded videos like reviews, testimonials, tutorials, interviews, and more. There is one important thing that I would like to draw your attention to when you are posting videos on social media. There is something that we call the attention span. So an attention span is the amount of time that you can concentrate on a task without being distracted. And the average attention span of a human being is 7 or 8 seconds. And this is, by the way, a study by the National Center of Biotechnology Information. That was in 2013, if I'm not mistaken. However, Facebook revealed that the average attention span on the platform for video content is just about 2 seconds. Now, you are probably thinking, what can I convey about my brand in just 2 seconds? What you put in these 2 seconds matters a lot. Your content quality matters a lot, and your content during the first 2 seconds should be powerful. So you can get the viewers to watch all of your video. You want to get them to watch your video till the end. Okay, so keep this in mind. There is as well thought leadership content. You can build your authority with these types of content. Build your authority as a thought leader in your space. Think tips and tricks, expert insights, and opinions on hot topics from true specialists in your sector. You want to provide content where your audience can learn from. And of course, this content should be product or service related. You can as well create content like contests and competitions. Who doesn't love prizes and gifts? One of the most cost-effective ways to gain followers is contests and competitions. And I'm sure that you have seen posts that say, like this post, mention 5 friends in the comment section, or get 5 people to like our page. Do not forget to follow our page, etc., etc. And they offer you a gift if you do all of these steps. You can create content like quizzes and polls, questions, testimonials and reviews. Testimonial and reviews are one of the best ways that you can demonstrate social proof. So share testimonials and reviews from happy customers. And this is a great way to show your audience why they should buy from you. Quotes could be another type of content. By the way, people like these types of content, quotes. They like to read quotes a lot. Product posts, here this one, show your audience how your products or services can help them relieve their pains and solve their problems. This is what you need to focus on when you are posting about your products and services. Okay, so focus on how can you be helpful? How can you solve their problems? Finally, press features and mentions. Share it when you get mentioned on press releases or any type of media. Okay. The final step is to analyze and measure performance. You cannot assume you will get your social media strategy exactly right on the first try. As you start to implement your plan and track your results, you may find that some strategies do not work as well as you'd anticipated, while others are working even better than expected. So always look at performance metrics, and you can do this through the analytics or insights tabs in your social media pages. Look for data, and once this data starts coming in, use it to re-evaluate and test your posts and campaigns. So constant testing allows you to understand what works and what doesn't work. And as we said before, continue with what works and stop what is not working, as time is precious and you are limited with resources, especially if you are a startup or just started your business. Okay, so here are some important metrics to track while you are analyzing and measuring performance. We have awareness metrics, engagement metrics, conversion metrics, and customer metrics. When we talk about awareness metrics, we mean brand awareness, which is the attention your brand gets across all social media, including mentions, shares, links, and impressions. We talk about audience growth as well. So audience growth means how fast you gain new followers, how many net new followers, for example, did you get last month. Post reach is how many people have seen a post since it went live. Engagement metrics like number of likes, number of shares, and comments. Conversion metrics, you can look for conversion rate. And when we say conversion, this means a user or visitor that completed or took an action on social media page. Example, maybe subscribing to your newsletter, downloading an ebook, registering for a webinar. That's why we always stress on including call to actions in your posts, like download, subscribe, learn more, contact us, etc. Cost per click is another metric under conversion. Cost per click, or CPC, is the amount you pay per individual click on your sponsored social media posts. Cost per impression, or the CPM, this is the amount you pay every time people scroll past your sponsored social media post. Finally, customer metrics. You need to keep an eye on your customer testimonials, that is reviews, comments, or endorsements, and customer satisfaction, which is a metric that measures how happy people are with your product or service. Okay, so to recap how to develop your social media strategy, your first step to developing a social media strategy is to do a social media audit for your channels, and of course, don't forget your competitors. The second step is to define your SMART goals. After that, you need to define your target audience, demographics. Then you should choose the right channels, of course, where your target audience is. After you choose the right channels that you should be on, you can start creating and distributing content across your channels. And finally, you need to measure and analyze performance, keeping in mind the important metrics that we have discussed, and keeping in mind as well that you should stop what is not working and continue with what is working. Okay, so it's time for our first poll. I will share with you our first poll, and I would like you to please fill it. Okay, so we have 3 questions. They are very easy to answer. So I would like from you to kindly answer these questions. Okay, I just ended the poll, and let's see what the correct answers are. So a social media strategy requires a deep understanding of your audience, their pain points, needs, and interests. Yes, this is true. We're going to increase brand awareness is an example of a SMART goal. False. This goal is not specific, it's not measurable, and it doesn't have a time limit. When developing your social media strategy, you can start planning your content and choosing formats once you have decided on your target audience. This is false. Once you decide who your target audience is, you need to choose the channels, the social media channels that you are going to be present on. Okay, great. So I would like to thank you for answering the questions. Okay, now let's move on and talk about some tips and best practices. So the first tip, do live video streaming. Live video streaming helps startups to directly interact with their audience by gathering live reviews and comments from customers. That also builds the trust of people on your products or services. So live streaming should be at the top of your priority list. Next, create visually attractive content. You need to market your startup in a way that your content, including pictures and videos, catches the eye of your target audience. So your content should be visually engaging, creative, and pleasing. So it is all about representing your startup graphically and enticing your customers to click on your posts or ads. I will share with you some free tools at the end of the webinar that will help you create an attractive content, and these are very easy to use tools, even if you are a beginner. You don't need any graphic design experience for you to be able to use them. Okay, next, create a content calendar. Create a content calendar of when and where you plan to publish upcoming content. It makes it easier to collaborate with your team and keep everyone on the same page. It as well gives you a big picture overview of your upcoming stuff. So the picture that you see here on the screen is one sample. You can design your content calendar the way you like, and you can use Excel to do it. How frequently you should post on social media? Now, I would like to mention that in terms of how frequently you should be posting on each platform, we recommend a schedule that looks like this: 5 to 7 posts per week for Facebook, 3 to 5 tweets per day for Twitter, 1 post for LinkedIn, and 1 post or story for Instagram. However, this is not a must, and this is not the ideal situation. It depends on your goals, your audience, your content, and your resources. When we say resources, we mean team and budget, and time, of course. Leverage influencer marketing. This is very important. Influencer marketing is the process of using influencers to advocate and engage with your brand's message. A social media influencer is someone who has influence on social media. And influencers could be celebrities, bloggers, industry experts, or activists. Sometimes it could be one of your employees, or your partners, or an investor maybe. This type of marketing can be a very good choice for startups with limited marketing budget, and building relationships with influencers allow your brand to reach a wider audience and gain significant recognition. Next, A/B test your campaigns. A/B testing, or sometimes we call it split testing, simply means experimenting with 2 different approaches in order to complete a task. You need to find out which approach works best between the 2 variations. A/B testing is very important and very effective when it comes to advertising on social media. You can experiment 2 ads with 2 different creative. And when we say creative, this is the content, whether the text or the design itself. Keep in mind that experimentation is the best way to learn what is working and what is not. Okay, so when doing social media advertising, always go for 2 campaigns and test which one is performing better. Improve customer service. This is very important as well. Simply being active on social media is not enough. Social media customer service is one notable growing trend nowadays. It is the practice of providing support through social media channels to quickly answer questions from customers. Social media customer service doesn't just help you connect with customers, it helps you build great relationships and convert those customers into promoters and get them to promote your business by word of mouth marketing. So how can you improve your customer service on social media? Simply encourage conversations by asking questions, by setting call to actions that take them to chat with you on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or chatbot. This is, by the way, conversational marketing, and it is the best way to start real-time conversations with customers. The second thing is to quickly respond to messages. When you receive a message from a customer, it's important to quickly address their concerns and answer their questions. Finally, be friendly and respectful and helpful as well. Respond to every review respectfully, no matter how rude or bad or negative a review or a comment is. You should act positively. So, someone, for example, didn't like your service. Take the time to ask them why. So if they post a negative comment or the conversation was an unhappy one, take the time to ask them why. This will ensure the customer feels heard, and you might also learn something you hadn't considered before. And it's important to listen to them and ask them why, but you as well need to solve the problems they are facing. Okay, this is the slide that I was talking about early when I started the webinar. So how can you extend your reach organically? Before I move on, I would like to clarify the difference between organic reach and paid reach. Organic reach is when your posts reach your target audience or your followers or your fans without paying anything. This is for free. Paid reach is exactly what it sounds like. You pay to serve your ads to your target audience or followers. Organic reach on social media is declining and building on it can be very difficult nowadays. However, getting the desired results with organic practices is not impossible. You can see on the screen some practices that can help you with organic reach. So first, don't just promote products and services. You should post content that your followers or users like and want to see. Second, post evergreen content. Evergreen content is the content that people always want to consume and it doesn't go out of date. I will show you in the upcoming slides some examples of an evergreen content. And by the way, this webinar is an evergreen content. Recording or the video, the recorded video of this webinar is an evergreen content. You will always go to this content. You always need to consume such content. Use organic post targeting. With this feature, you can control who sees the posts in the news feed. And in the upcoming slides, I will show you how to do it as well. Number 4, post when your audience is online. This is very clear. Upload native videos. A native video is a video that is uploaded directly to a social media platform or created on it. And that is played in feed on that platform. It is not a link to a video posted on YouTube or website. Okay? So native videos have better reach. Share posts from your Facebook page on your Facebook profile and encourage others, like family, friends, partners, employees, to share your posts as well. Drive organic traffic with hashtags. Hashtags are very helpful when it comes to organic reach, and they as well help in categorizing your content so it shows up when people search for it. Market your startup through stories. This is a creative way of marketing your startup. With some filters added, you can market your startup's culture, story, products, and many other things. Finally, use tagging or the @sign, especially when you are mentioning or talking about individuals, businesses, or any other entity with a social media profile. This helps you boost your content. Okay, So here are some examples of evergreen content. You can post something like video tutorials. You can post case studies. Case studies are very important. Case studies are examples of results that you have achieved for your clients and customers. You could post them on your website and link to them from your social media pages. So sharing case studies is important if you are operating in a B2B sector. And LinkedIn can be a great way and a great platform to share this type of content. You can share as well checklists, how-to guides, frequently asked questions, questions and answers, product reviews, social proof, recipes, top tips, step-by-step information, and many other things. So as we have mentioned before, this type of content people always want to consume. They are always looking for this type of content. Okay, so how can you use organic post targeting? In order for you to be able to use this feature, you should make sure that it is enabled in the first place. You should go to your page, you should click on settings on the general tab, and you go here, the audience optimization for posts, and enable it. Okay. Next, after enabling it, when you create the post, when you want to create your post, you should click on this public. Okay. Then you should choose restricted audience and then choose the specific audience for this post. Okay, you can specify them by age or location. Okay. Next. Post when your audience is online. Knowing the times when your audience is most active on each channel can also help you generate an increased level of engagement by sharing your content at the right time. As mentioned earlier, you can get these information and insights from the Analytics tab or Insights tab on your social media channels. So this is how it looks like. Okay, it shows you what days they are mostly on social media and the times as well. Okay, drive organic traffic with hashtags. You can use hashtags that are always in the trend, or you can make your own personalized hashtags to promote your social media marketing campaigns. So for Facebook, use 1 to 2 hashtags. If you use more than 2, you will notice that engagement drops. Sometimes you might not need a hashtag at all for some posts, so don't add it. It's not a must to add hashtags. For Twitter, use 1 to 2. 1 engages better than 2, but 2 is much better than 3. For Instagram, you can go big. You can add up to 30 hashtags, but personally, I wouldn't recommend going that big. So you can use 5 to 10. For LinkedIn, use 1 to 5 maximum. Keep in mind that you should always add relevant hashtags, and keep in mind as well that too many hashtags can sometimes become a distraction. I personally don't like to read posts that has a lot of hashtags. It's a distraction for me, so I skip it. So keep this in mind. Don't overdo it. Okay, so Our second poll, I will share our second poll with you. So I would like to ask you to fill and answer the questions, please. And directly after this poll, I will share with you some helpful tools for your social media strategy. Okay, so, okay, this is the second one. So let's check the answers. So influencer marketing can be a good choice for startups with limited marketing budget. Yes, it's true. Which of the following is not a social media best practice? It's C, experiment one approach when advertising. You shouldn't do that. You should be doing split testing or A/B testing. You should be experimenting with two different approaches. Which is not a way to extend your organic reach. It's, of course, boost post, because you need to pay to be able to boost a post. Okay, so thank you everyone for filling and answering our poll. So now we move on to talk about some great tools that you can use for ensuring the success of your social media strategy. We have Hashtagify. This is a platform where you can find and track hashtags. We have a tool called Canva. This is a free graphic design platform that is great for making invitations, business cards, social media posts, and more. It's very easy to use, and there is a lot of ready-made templates that you can start with and edit. Freepik. This is the #1 resources site for vector graphics for graphic designers. It as well has a lot of images. Google Trends. This is a great tool to help you know what are the top topics people are searching for and what is trending. And this will help you with your content, get some ideas on what content to create. Buffer and Hootsuite are platforms to manage your social media presence. You can as well schedule posts and receive reports. Bitly, this is a tool used to shorten links or URLs. And finally, Grammarly, it helps you with grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Okay, so I am ready now to answer your questions. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A box. Okay, no questions. I don't have any questions. Come on, guys. You do want to ask questions? If you have a question, please post it. Put it on the tab down on your Zoom window. Okay, there is Q&A. Okay, you need to put the question there. Or if you like, you can write them in the chat. It's fine. Canva is a free design tool. Yes, it's for free. In your opinion, what is the most effective form of social media for the working population? For the working population, of course, I would go for LinkedIn, and my second choice would be Facebook as well. But LinkedIn is a professional network, and it's very good for the working population if you are targeting those kind of people. How can I get recording of this lecture? You can go to I will share with you in a while our social media platforms, and you can see it on our YouTube channel, and it's as well found on our Facebook channel. Do you have any resources, recommendations, maybe books or YouTube channels? If you mean like you want to get more information about social media strategy, you can go on Google and search. There is a lot of courses or information. They are for free. You can learn from. Which platform is best for education? Muhammad, you need to tell me your target audience. I mean, this is not clear actually. If you can please clarify it. Education, what type of education, and who is your target audience? But for this, it could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn. So it depends on your target audience. So who are you targeting, Muhammad? Are you educating teenagers? Are you educating people in their 20s? Are you educating professionals? Who are those people that you are educating? It is important to post. Is it important to post regularly for not to lose my customers? Yes. You need to post regularly so you don't lose your customers. You need to build relationships, and you build these relationships with keeping your customers informed and posting and getting them engaged with your posts. Yes. So you should be consistent. What to say when a client says you are too expensive? So I believe this is a comment. Okay, so what to say when a client says it's too expensive? Yeah, you need to ask why. Okay, why did the client see it expensive? Okay, and this is like a problem he's facing. Maybe it's too expensive for this person to buy your product. Ask why, and always keep in mind that you should solve their problems. Okay, so you can go for a discount, for example, or like, for example, promote a complementary product, maybe to get this person to buy. So it's normal if they say you are too expensive. Just try to be helpful as much as you can, and try to be positive as much as you can. Sometimes, by the way, you might need to take the conversation private. Okay, so you will see when you need to take the conversation private. You're not going to open a conversation with a customer on the comment section of the post, for example. Okay, so sometimes you reach a stage where you need to take your conversations private. When we do the quiz, we will send you the quiz within 24 hours after this webinar. Hamad, thank you very much for this great information. How one could develop a team to run the social media to scale the business bigger? How many titles are needed? This is, wow, this is an excellent question, Hamad. So if you have the money to pay for, you need a graphic designer to design the content. You need a content creator to create the content, or this is what we call as well a copywriter. And you need a social media manager, someone who manages the accounts for you. So the best scenario is having 3 people, but sometimes this is going to cost you a lot. So you might go for one person that can do all of this, or for an agency that can do all of these 3 things. So it's the design of the content, it's copywriting, and managing the social media platforms. What is the best social media channel for nonprofits specialized for environment? Facebook. This is the #1 social media channel for NGOs and nonprofits. And could you please suggest a content strategy calendar tool I can find online? Actually, you can go to HubSpot. I will write it here. I will write it in the chat. It's hubspot.com. There's a lot of free templates that you can use for social media and for your business as well. Thanks for your great session. What is your opinion about social media management in Kurdistan? Actually, I am Lebanese. I live in Lebanon. So to be honest, I'm not that familiar of social media in Kurdistan, but I believe, if I am not mistaken, it's booming and it's needed. And everyone, especially startup founders, are very well aware that social media is one of the best tools in order to create brand awareness, generate sales, and have and build a good relationship with customers. When we post about a course that we will offer in our institute, should captain explain all of it or not? Look, one advice, if you have a website, just post, mention few information in the post, and let people like put a call to action. It's called Learn More, where they can go to your website and read all the information that they need about this course. Okay, or you can, for example, create an event maybe on Facebook. Okay, but I'm not with mentioning every single detail about the course. I am with mentioning just few information and driving those people who are interested to go to your website and read all the necessary information there. My business is targeting 2 different language speakers. Should I make different channels for each language, or should I make one channel and add posts in 2 languages? Actually, there is an option in Facebook where people can enable it, so the post is directly translated. No, actually, I'm not with making 2 different channels, because you will be spending a lot to get followers here and here. So if you would like to try, you can try and test. Personally, I would go for making one channel and posting in 2 different languages. Okay, so what do you think about Viber bulk messages? They are good. You just need to see if it works with your audience, if you have a good return, if you're using the bulk messages on Viber. So if it's working for you, yes, go ahead. Okay, I believe that's it. No more questions. One more thing I would like to mention, and a quick reminder of our upcoming event. So Takween Accelerator and the American Corner in Sulaimania will host a panel about being a female founder in Iraq tomorrow at 6 p.m. Iraq time. And during this panel, you will learn about how to start a business as a woman and how to overcome the challenges that may arise. You can visit our social media channels to register and watch it, attend it. I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope it was beneficial and I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms to stay tuned with our news, upcoming events, and programs. So have a good day, everyone.